Today you will explore alternative or alt text in presentations. You'll learn why it matters and how to add it in your slides. What is alt text? Alternative or alt text is a short description of an image that is read aloud by screen readers for people with vision impairments. When to use alt text? Not all images need alt text. Some can be marked as decorative if they do not have meaning for the presentation content. The image on the left needs alt text to make meaning for the listener. The image on the right is purely decorative and does not need alt text or should be marked as decorative.
As you can see on the screen in this PowerPoint presentation, there is an image. To add alt text to this image, you would right-click on the image. You would scroll down to View Alt Text. A panel pops up on the right-hand side of the screen. This one in particular was populated by AI Response. It describes this image as a cat sitting in the grass. This can be edited to reflect different words if necessary. If you approve the alt text, you would just close out of this panel, and now the alt text has been applied even though you do not see it on the screen. Alternatively, you can mark the image as decorative here if that is more appropriate. If it's just a decorative element, more like what we see here with the geometric images on the screen. Notice also there is an accessibility panel that does show up in PowerPoint. Up at the top, once I am in the alt text panel, it shows accessibility up here at the top. And it gives you another range of options for accessibility. We will be discussing more of these in further modules, such as color and appropriate media. Accessibility help is listed here if you're still a bit unclear on what you need to represent.
Recap adding alt text in PowerPoint. 1. Right-click the image. 2. Select View Alt Text. 3. Enter an image description. 4. Check Mark as decorative if needed.
Here you will see the Google Slides version of the same background decorative image and cat as we saw in the PowerPoint presentation demo. The process for adding alt text is very similar to how it is in PowerPoint. You will click on the image, right-click, click down on the alt text option. You'll see there's also a keyboard shortcut to open the formatting options. When the toolbar is populated on the right side of the screen, the description box will be here. This one did not auto-populate with an AI response as it did in PowerPoint. So you will be able to type in your own descriptive words, short and sweet, but still descriptive. I will say this time, an orange cat sitting in the grass. There are advanced options. Clicking on that will reveal that it gives you an option to add a title to your image. This is an unnecessary field. It would be actually more accessible to leave that blank. Adding a description is sufficient. You may also notice there is not an option to mark this image as decorative as there was in the PowerPoint version. So the way you would do that in Google Slides is to bring up the alt text panel, as you see here, but leave the description box blank. That will automatically mark it as decorative. To be even further on the safe side, if you wanted to make sure that it was clear that this image is decorative, you could type in the word decorative. That's the way to use that feature in Google Slides, as there is not a dedicated click option as there was in the PowerPoint version. I will leave it as the description I typed, and now it is connected to the image even though we cannot see it, and it will be accessible for screen readers.
Recap adding alt text in Google Slides. 1. Right-click the image. 2. Select Alt Text. 3. Enter an image description. 4. Leave the description box blank or type decorative if needed. Writing great alt text tips. Be concise and specific. Don't say image of in your description. Describe the purpose, not just the content. The image on the right shows a good example and a bad example of alt text. The good example describes bar graph showing increased scores over the last 4 months. The bad text says picture of graph. Alt text challenge. It's time to test your knowledge. Ask yourself these questions. If you feel you are ready, proceed to the next activity. 1. Can you describe what alt text is? 2. What kind of images need alt text? 3. How do you add alt text to images in different slide deck formats? 4. How do you write an appropriate alt text description for an image?